the phantom drummer that plays before death strikes. Kunder, a moonless African sky, the heart of the ancient village of Mbuyi, trembles with fear. Could, in the dead of night, a deep, echoing drumbeat shatters the silence of sound so eerie and relentless that even the bravest souls freeze in terror. They say the phantom drummer appears when death is near. His cursed rhythm a grim announcement that fate is about to claim another life. Tonight, as the wind carries the haunting drums call through twisting paths and gnarled trees, a lone figure dares to unravel the mystery behind this ghastly omen. Prepare yourself for a journey steeped in ancient magic, bone-chilling horror, and secrets that'll haunt you long after the final beat fades away. The curse and the legend. In the secluded village of Mbuyi, nestled at the edge of a vast, untamed forest, legends are as old as the baobab trees and as persistent as the desert winds. The villagers have long whispered of a cursed soul once, a mighty warrior named Naya, whose betrayal by a trusted friend led him to a fate far more terrible than death. According to the ancient lore, Naya was bound to a magical drum, forced to play its dreadful beat as an eternal warning of doom. His spirit, now neither alive nor dead, roams the village's outskirts, a phantom whose drumming signals that death will soon stalk the living. Over generations, elders passed down this tale with trembling voices. They spoke of how, on nights when the moon hid behind thick clouds, the phantom drummer's rhythmic pulse could be heard echoing through the village. It was said that his beat was not just a sound, it was a force that stirred the very air, a signal that something sinister lurked in the darkness. Parents would warn their children. If you hear that drum, do not wander out, for death comes with every strike. And so, the fear of the drum beat became woven into the fabric of village life. The night of unholy drumming. On a particularly bleak night, when the air was heavy with an unexplainable chill and the sky was as dark as spilled ink, the villagers of Mbuyi sensed an impending horror. That night, the wind carried an unnatural stillness, and even the cicadas fell silent. As midnight approached, an ominous sound began, a deep, steady drumbeat that seemed to vibrate the very soul of the land. In a modest hut near the village edge, young Kato lay awake, eyes wide with terror, as the rhythmic pounding grew louder. His heart pounded in his chest in sync with the drum, each beat echoing the legends his grandmother had recited countless times. Fear mingled with a strange curiosity that compelled him to investigate. Despite his racing thoughts, Kato donned a small leather pouch filled with protective charms, a gift from his grandmother, and stepped quietly into the night. As Kato walked the narrow, dusty paths, the drum's sound led him closer to the heart of the ancient forest. The trees, twisted and ancient, loomed like silent sentinels, their branches clawing at the starless sky. Every step took him deeper into a realm where time seemed to lose its hold, and the boundary between life and death blurred. The journey into darkness. Venturing into the forest, Kato's eyes adjusted to the dim light provided by a flickering torch. The deeper he went, the more oppressive the air became. Shadows danced along the forest floor, and every rustle of leaves felt like a whisper of forgotten souls. The drumbeat grew steadily louder, as if drawing him to a hidden clearing where destiny awaited. In the depths of the forest, Kato encountered signs of the supernatural, a clearing where the ground was scorched as though by ancient fire, and strange symbols were etched into the stone, symbols that glowed faintly with an eerie luminescence. Here, nature itself seemed to shudder at the cursed history of the place. At the clearing's edge, Kaito caught sight of a spectral figure cloaked in tattered, ancient armor. The figure's eyes burned with a ghostly light, and in his hands, he cradled a massive drum. Its surface adorned with mystic carvings that told tales of betrayal, bloodshed, and endless mourning. It was the phantom drummer, Nia, whose mournful cadence had long haunted the lands of Mbuyi. Frozen in both fear and fascination, Kato approached. With each careful step, the phantom's drumming slowed, as if acknowledging the arrival of a soul brave enough to confront the cursed legend. The silence that fell between the beats was heavy with anticipation. The chilling encounter. The phantom's gaze met Kato's with a mixture of sorrow and wrath. "Who dares disturb my vigil?" Nia's voice, low and resonant, reverberated through the clearing, carrying the weight of centuries of pain. The words, though spoken in a language lost to time, were understood by Kato's heart. "I am Kato," the boy replied, his voice barely above a whisper. "I have come to learn why you haunt our nights and to find a way to end this curse." His words, filled with both fear and determination, cut through the oppressive atmosphere. For a long moment, the phantom drummer remained silent, his ghostly eyes searching Kato's soul. Finally, Nia spoke, his voice a blend of anguish and ancient wisdom. "I was once a warrior of honor, betrayed by a friend whose envy was as deep as the darkest abyss. In my final hours, I cursed the one who wronged me and, in turn, cursed myself. Bound to this drum, I now play a lament for every soul claimed by the hand of fate. Every beat foretells a death, a reckoning for the sins of the living." Kato's heart ached with empathy, yet he felt a cold shiver run down his spine as the drum's ominous beat resumed. "Is there no hope for release?" he asked, his eyes shining with both compassion and the burden of his people's fear. "There is a legend," Nia murmured, "a forgotten ritual hidden within the very heart of this land. If the sacred rites are performed under the gaze of the ancient spirits, my curse may be lifted, and the drum's call transformed from a dirge of death to a hymn of redemption. But be warned, the path is fraught with darkness, and not all who seek the truth return unscathed." Kato, though young, felt the call of destiny deep within him. "I will do what must be done," he vowed, his voice trembling with resolve. "Tell me what I must do." With a slow, sorrowful nod, Nia's spectral form revealed the steps of the ancient ritual, a journey that would lead Kato across the haunted landscapes of the past and into the realm of spirits. Find the 3 sacred relics hidden within these cursed lands: the eye of the leopard, the feather of the nightingale, and the tear of the moon. Only when united can they unlock the gateway to redemption. The quest for the sacred relics could, determined to free the tortured spirit and end the terror that gripped Mbuyi, Kato embarked on a perilous quest. The first relic, the eye of the leopard, was said to be hidden within a cave, guarded by the fierce spirit of an ancient beast, Kundera skylit by a waning crescent moon. Kato journeyed to the rugged cliffs at the forest's edge. The cave's entrance yawned like the maw of a great beast, and inside, the darkness was so complete, it seemed to swallow all hope. Armed with his torch and a bundle of protective charms, Kato ventured into the cave. Deep within, he encountered a spectral leopard, its eyes gleaming with a supernatural fire. The beast circled him slowly, a silent challenge in its piercing stare, summoning all his courage. Kato bowed respectfully, speaking softly in the ancient tongue his grandmother had taught him. The leopard paused and stepped aside, revealing a glimmering stone that shone like a golden eye. With trembling hands, Kato took the relic, feeling its power thrumming in time with his heartbeat. Next, Kaito set his sights on the feather of the nightingale, hidden in the heart of a swamp that reeked of decay and despair. The swamp was a twisted labyrinth of murky water and rotting vegetation. Every step was a battle against the fetid stench and the creeping fear that something unspeakable lurked beneath the surface. In the center of the swamp, an old, gnarled tree stood alone, its branches reaching out like skeletal hands. There on one of the highest branches rested a single, radiant feather that shimmered with an iridescent glow. As Kato reached for it, the branches creaked ominously, as if protesting the disturbance. But with resolve hardening his soul, he plucked the feather and secured it close to his heart. The final relic, the tear of the moon, was the most elusive. Legend had it that it lay in a forgotten shrine, buried under centuries of dust and sorrow, where the sky and earth met in a silent embrace. Kato journeyed to the ruins of an ancient temple hidden deep within the forest, where broken statues and weathered carvings testified to a once great civilization. In the center of the crumbling shrine, a basin of clear water glowed faintly, illuminated by the ghostly light of a hidden moon. As Kato approached, he saw the water ripple as if stirred by an unseen force. With a mixture of reverence and fear, he dipped his hand into the basin. A single tear, pure and luminous, rose from the water and fell into his palm tear that carried the sorrow of the ages and the hope of redemption. The ritual of redemption, with the 3 sacred relics in hand. Kato hurried back to the clearing, where the phantom drummer awaited. The forest seemed to hold its breath as he retraced his steps, the relics pulsing with an inner light that grew stronger with every heartbeat. At the clearing, Nia's spectral form awaited him beneath a sky churned by dark, restless clouds. "Return, brave soul," Nia intoned, his voice now soft with anticipation. "You have gathered the relics of hope. Now, the ancient ritual must be performed to break the curse that binds me and to silence the drum that heralds death." Kato arranged the relics around the massive drum in a precise pattern dictated by the old lore. The eye of the leopard glowed fiercely. The feather of the nightingale shimmered with otherworldly colors, and the tear of the moon pulsed like a living heartbeat. With trembling hands, he recited the incantation taught by the elders, a chant that resonated with the power of the ancestors and the mystic forces of the land. As the words echoed through the clearing, the relics began to merge their energies. A brilliant light erupted from the drum, bathing the entire forest in a spectral glow. The deep drumbeat, once ominous and foreboding, began to change. Its rhythm softened and transformed into a melody that felt both sorrowful and hopeful, a tune that spoke of pain and redemption, of loss and the promise of new beginnings. For a long, heart-stopping moment, Nia's ghostly form wavered. The cursed aura that had bound him for centuries began to dissolve, replaced by a warm radiance that spoke of long-awaited freedom. "You have given me the gift of redemption?" he whispered, his voice now filled with a mixture of relief and gratitude. "The curse is broken, and with it, the sorrow that has haunted these lands shall fade." As the final words of the incantation left Kato's lips, the drum's beat stilled. The relics, their purpose fulfilled, faded into the night as if they had never existed. Nia's spirit, now released from his eternal torment, transformed before Kato's eyes. His tattered form was replaced by that of a noble warrior, his eyes no longer haunted by betrayal, but alight with the promise of peace. The new dawn and lingering shadows. With the curse lifted, the oppressive gloom that had long suffocated the village of Mbuyi began to lift. The first rays of dawn broke over the horizon, bathing the land in a gentle, forgiving light. The phantom drummer had become a memory, a cautionary tale of the cost of betrayal and the power of redemption. Yet, even as the village celebrated the return of hope, whispers of the ancient curse persisted. Some elders believed that the drum's final beat had not erased death's presence, but merely transformed it into a more merciful get-up. Reminder that every ending is a beginning, and that even in the darkest times, the light of redemption can be found. Kato returned to his village as a hero, though his heart bore the weight of what he had seen. His journey had shown him the terrible price of betrayal and the endless sorrow of cursed souls, but it also revealed the strength of the human spirit and the magic that resides in acts of courage and compassion. In the years that followed, the story of the Phantom Drummer became more than just a tale of horror. It turned into a legend of hope. Under the wise guidance of the elders, the villagers began to honor the legacy of Nia, not as a harbinger of death, but as a reminder of the power of redemption. Every full moon, they gathered not in fear, but in reverence for the mysteries of life and the ancient forces that connect them all. The echo of the drum, though the drum no longer heralded death, its echo could still be heard on quiet nights, a soft, rhythmic reminder of the past. In the gentle rustling of leaves, in the distant call of a night bird, the spirit of Naya lived on, not as a cursed phantom, but as a guardian of truth and justice. The tale of the Phantom Drummer that played before death struck became a part of Mbuyi's story, told to children to remind them that even in the face of terror, there is always a chance for redemption. It was a tale of darkness transformed into light, of a cursed legacy turned into a beacon of hope for those who dared to listen closely. The drum's fading echo spoke of a timeless truth, that every heartbeat is a testament to the resilience of life, and that the courage to face our deepest fears can transform the horror of the past into the promise of a brighter future. And so, under the vast African sky, where the night still holds a touch of mystery and magic, the legend lives, a haunting, eternal reminder that in the midst of horror, hope can be found, and even the Phantom Drummer may one day play a melody of salvation.